In July 2026, we are going to be heading across the Danube River in Europe with an eventual stop in Dracula's castle. So for the next year, every day, I'm going to come out here and get into the zone of river cruising. This is my commitment to my craft. And no, it's not. But it's a super exciting trip. We are going to be going across the Danube in Europe on a river cruise, starting at Budapest with stops in 4 different countries, playing D&D the whole way with an eventual stop in Dracula's castle where I will be running Curse of Strahd. Imagine that, playing Curse of Strahd in the place that inspired that entire lore. Vlad's castle in Transylvania. It's very, very exciting. I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be there with a bunch of other awesome GMs like B. Dave Walters and Katie Asaurus and Alec the Bard. Please check it out. We'll see you guys soon. Everyone, welcome to episode 4 of season 6 of Into the Mist. Thank you all for joining us. We'll get through announcements as quick as possible. We keep saying that. Last time was really actually quite quick, but this time maybe a little longer because we're going to have some additional help from somebody who we did this in season 4 last time, I think, and it was fun. So I'm going to ask Joel to grab the guitar again to serenade us through announcements for today. So first thing we do, just give me some general thankful music.
Thankful music?
Yeah. Just... First off, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone in the Kickstarter who backed us to create and make this season possible.
They made it happen.
This is a bad idea already.
This is making it quicker, right? This is making the announcements quicker?
Yes.
Okay.
One of those people are at the table with us right now.
Right now. Who's that?
Everybody, welcome Chad.
Welcome, Chad. He's the guy. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks.
That's so rad.
Chad is wonderful. And Chad is one of the players in our weekly game. He plays on Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights.
Monday nights.
Monday nights.
Sometimes Wednesday nights.
Sometimes Wednesday nights.
He actually plays often, as much as he can. And so he's wonderful. He plays an incredibly creepy character.
It's creepy.
So creepy.
So creepy.
As hell.
As hell.
So thank you to all the back. Oh, we still have the music going. I'm going to stop Sirenscape for a second.
That's good because I was trying to compete with you.
How's it working? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Beetle and Grim, Joel.
Beetle and Grim is the favorite little thing that I just use to play my campaigns. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Get a box.
I need to shake
Use it lots. It'll help you through your seasons. If you're filming, I guess. Oh, a water shaker? Dude, you are a crazy DM.
It's working.
It is, kinda. That's all I got for Beetle and Grim.
Some of the Great Forge.
Oh, okay. Hero Forge.
That's the Hero Forge.
Yeah, I just made it. Says that.
I just made it, really. I thought you've been working on that for a while.
Hero Forge is the best.
Yes.
You can get your characters made out of plastic if you want. They're really tremendous and good. HeroForge.com.
What about Ultimate Game Master, Joel?
Ooh. Literally the best thing you can buy right now. There's never been a product that will change the world like this one. If you want it, you should get it immediately. The shipping's not included. But do it now.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, yeah. No, you're not done yet. Silver Dragon Games is the last one.
Oh, a store in Peoria. Have you been to the store in Peoria? Get all the lore you could get in a store. The store in Peoria. Silver Dragon Game.
Yes! Wow. We are doing that every episode. That is the best. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love you so much. So glad we did that. Have you heard of the store?
Get out the more.
Get out
The store.
Oh, that's such a better way to do announcement. Okay, well, you're gonna have to do different genres.
Wow. Okay.
Of them next time.
Yeah.
I
vote down.
We'll be up till 5 o'clock.
Next episode, I think we do like emo.
Wow.
The screamo.
Screamo. A little rage.
I'm not sure these mics are prepared for that kind of
That's true.
performance.
Okay. D3@C is a great event. It's coming in the fall. Check it out, d3@c.com. They have lots of events on a regular basis, including a really amazing one along a river. That was accented by thunder. We have a thunderstorm going on right now, so if you hear thunder, that isn't Sirenscape. Sometimes it might be.
It might be.
In fact, it's just going to be rainy this episode. Sorry, guys. And we're doing a river cruise on D3@C in the fall. Along in the fall. It's not in the fall. It's sometime in a while. Check it out at gamingatsea.com. And if that's not right, check it out at d3@c.com and their socials. It is a river cruise along the Danube River with 2 nights in Dracula's Castle, where I will be running Curse of Strahd. In Bran Castle. Legit. Also, check out RPG in a Jungle. We do that often. We go to Peru in the high jungle of the Amazon. I will already have been there by this episode. We did it already once, but check it out for the next event. It is awesome and fantastic. And when you're in a room playing in a jungle setting and you can hear monkeys through the window, and I'm trying to turn them off in Sirenscape, and I'm like, what's going on? But it's actually jungle sounds. It's pretty freaking fantastic. And then, as I mentioned before, Melanie and I are going to start hosting D&D weekends, which is official D&D and Castle events here in Ontario, Canada. Check that out at dndandcastle.com. Generally, if you want to join the Battle of Barovia and affect what's happening here on a weekly basis, go to our Patreon. You can join there, or look up on my weekly private games, which I run 3 a week. You can check out our socials for more details on that. Chad is in one of them. We have done tons of sessions. They've stuck with me, thankfully, because I wasn't sure. I was like, yeah, it's going to last a couple of weeks. And then here they are. So many. And here they are physically, literally. And their characters are all playing. It is a connected world where they are all playing in the same narrative as season 6 and affecting the season. As you can see, their characters are jumping in with information that they've been given for the last 6 months to a year, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For this. So it's awesome. We have merch. It is below this line. Somewhere below that line. Chad's like, what is happening? And subscribe and share and comment and all of that wonderful stuff. Without further ado, let's venture into this, y'all. All right, we're back. Last session was a doozy. You all found yourselves where we left all of you throughout the last 3 episodes, just as a bit of a recap. You came back from the ethereal plane and found out that you were right in the middle of a battle and an assault on Argonbostholt. Kind of the last push by Sableheart, a general, and his army. And that there were hordes of undead flowing out of the river. You also found that you had another companion that had joined you from the ethereal. And from the tear in the corner of the room, apparated Sergei von Zarevich in spirit form, played by Christian Navarro. You proceeded to kill a lot of zombies. Sterling and
They
Dmitri.
proceeded to
Yeah, they did most of the killing.
Yes.
And Trevas, from across the field, saw that Rahadin was standing on a rise with Sableheart. Idara left her party and charged directly for Sableheart. Trevas charged directly for Rahadin, and a skirmish began. Trevas taking a lot of damage. And finally dispatching Rahadin with the help of Falpher a little bit, and Sterling mostly. You're welcome. That was just for you. At which point, Strahd himself appeared on the field. Had an exchange for the first time with his brother's spirit in over 400 years. And then proceeded to catch the bolt that Falpher shot at him, slice Trevas's throat, and drink the rest of his blood before Trevas went gray and motionless on the field. That is where we ended the episode. Mm-hmm. That is where we are going to take off from that is where we're going to start from in this episode. It is actually Strahd's turn.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a good start, right?
You should start a session that way.
Just as a note.
No, it's actually not Strahd's turn.
Oh, okay, so
It's
there.
actually
He took your note.
He took your
Sergei's
note. He
turn.
took your note.
Because
But I didn't make that
Strahd
either.
just... Huh?
Go ahead.
Because...
You just killed him. Drank his blood anyway, right?
You think that was a legendary action, was it?
That's kind of.
Hold on a moment, please. That was a legendary action at the end of Adar's turn.
Mhm.
That was. So, you watch as he bamps out of time and space and disappears.
Does he end up like just kind of over here? I've been hair tag about this guy.
It's trapped in his coat.
As he does, you see this like movement that everybody's about to kind of pounce on him to attack him, and he's gone. Back to me, please. Just a moment. You currently all stand above Trevas's fallen, graying body, drained of all of his life force. And immediately you feel a presence from over yonder as a woman approaches. At this point, I would like Chad to give me a description of Dhalia for the group.
So Dhalia is a attractive woman with kind of a very pale cafe au lait skin and dark hair, which is currently done up in a very intricate weave with pinned in place with hairpins. She's dressed in an old Barovian wedding gown, which at the moment is covered in blood.
Oh gosh.
And she has in one hand a very large red book, and kind of draped around her in the other is what looks like a cloth tied into kind of a papoose, almost as if she's carrying a child with her. And as the mist kind of drifts in and out, she's a little bit closer each time until
As in, we don't
you don't see her.
moving.
You don't see her move.
She's just
Closer.
Like the ring when
Yeah.
like, a ghostly figure kind of goes, go. Yeah.
Until she appears standing over Trevas's
That's not
body
creepy at all.
and kind of looks down at him and says, "Oh, that's unfortunate." And then she looks at Sergei,
So yeah, it's Sergei's ghost
and there's a
spirit that is standing.
moment where her face kind of contorts, and it's almost like two people fighting for control of the same body. And then she kind of shakes her head.
Is there a recognition? Do I recognize that? Him?
Yeah.
Her?
I mean, you're not hiding it.
You recognize the gown. It is
He would.
Tatiana's wedding gown.
I would say that he wouldn't because he didn't see her before they got married. I was thinking that in my mind.
My bad.
Okay, I'm gonna
Bad
take
luck,
that
bad
out.
luck.
That was a crazy thing.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
That's
But
cool.
it is Tatiana's wedding gown.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know that.
But you wouldn't know that.
That's cool. I was like leaning, I want to like ease into the game.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, yeah.
Okay, but there's something.
Because it's bad luck. See you right before you get married, and it was on their wedding day, and they hadn't yet been married,
Correct.
and she died in it.
What's a papoose?
Something you use to carry a child in.
Yeah,
Just like a sling?
it's a Bjork on the other side.
Hey, he can carry you around now.
How long has he
Sounds
been
different.
dead?
Seconds.
Can
Well,
we
then-
check if he's dead?
Then there may still be time.
Is he dead?
We're out of initiative right now?
Yeah, we're out of initiative.
He's gray, and there's
Someone.
he's been drained of all his blood.
Should we? I'll go up to him, and I'll
Medicine check.
attempt. Yeah.
I'll unstrap the Bjorn, so you're just like,
You just lean over, and I lean out. 14.
With a 14, he is dead. No
Mm.
pulse. No nothing.
He's dead.
Why did he drink his blood?
I mean, does not he drink everyone's blood that he kills?
No, at least
I mean, that's. I don't know how
I've
this
never.
works.
I don't know how this works. I don't know what I saw. Why did he?
If time is a factor, you asked how long he's been dead. Sorry to
Sometimes,
interrupt, but
sometimes when the soul leaves the body, there's a time where if they're willing and the conditions are right, they may be willing to come back. Should we ask him?
yes.
Can we?
She opens up her book and flips through the pages. And those of you who are close to her might notice that on some pages there are names written in blood with what look like pieces of hair or fingernails or trinkets. And sometimes the names are crossed out. What was his name?
Trevas.
Trevas.
Oh. She closes the book and she leans down and she whispers in his ear. So I'm invoking my ability to talk to the dead.
Okay. Right. As that happens, is there a save or anything that happens with the spirit, or does it just happen?
So I believe it just happens. If he's willing, but I'll double check to make sure.
Yeah, that the willing part is what I need to know.
That's pretty crazy. 7 minutes that just happened.
This character's fantastic.
Yes.
Is there any way you can guarantee we won't hear him speak? I'm convinced.
So corpse must have a mouth.
Mm.
If it was undead when it died, it does not work. Has to be within the past 10 days. Corpse only knows what it knew in life, including languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. No compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you're antagonistic or it recognizes you as an enemy. Doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. So no save. And technically it has to respond, but not necessarily truthfully, depending upon how friendly it thinks the encounter is.
Okay.
Are you still here? It looks like you were a very pretty boy. You might be still. Are you willing to talk to your friends?
So at this point, Trevas, you find yourself in darkness until you hear that voice. And as you kind of open your eyes, you look down at the party gathered around your body. And you see a woman that you've never seen. You guys did not meet. I'm talking about off-board in our weekly sessions because Trevas did make an appearance. And as the woman, you hear her say what she just said, all of a sudden, for a moment, your spirit is like sucked back into your body for a moment, and your body, and you see him gray, still very much looking dead, but his eyes are like open, like he's dead, but his mouth begins to kind of move. And at this point, you have the ability to talk through your body, but not the ability to move your body or do anything else other than communicate.
Hearing the question, he would attempt to respond, but is unable to because he's undead.
For the sake of spells and so on. Down
Yeah.
here, so in that moment, you're like trying to respond, but it's like calling into the darkness. Everyone is grayscale. The world around you is muted, and you are kind of in full color as a spectral being. It's like a transparent, muted color of the colors that you were in life. You also notice that there is a silver tether that is protruding from your back and going up into the atmosphere, into the clouds. Dhalia, you get no response.
What? Was he dead before?
I'm gonna enter the ethereal plane. Okay. I don't want to see.
As you,
Yeah.
you all watch
I
as
was just there,
Sergei,
right? Like I had that thing, and so I'm thinking
Yep.
maybe he's around here.
you all watch as Sergei bamfs out of reality, and you step back into the border ethereal.
Oh, good.
And you look up, everyone else is grayscale, and you see Trevas floating above his body.
I'll slowly make my way up to him, but sort of, like this. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I was killed. What do you mean, what am I doing?
Well, you can't leave. I couldn't leave. So what do you do?
I don't think I have many options here.
I think so. This lady's presenting a new option. She says she might be able to bring me back. Huh?
Her magic can bring me back.
Do you not want her magic to bring you back? If there's a chance, do you want to try?
Everything I was fighting for here is gone. The best thing I could have hoped for is gone. And in return, I took everything from Strahd. Everything I could. He took things that I loved, and I took things that he cherished.
When you first met me, there was such reverence in your eyes. You didn't even look me in the eye. But it's not me. It's what I might have represented, right? What this place could be, right?
I've played my role.
Not
I've
yet.
lived my time where it belongs. Just like your time has come and it left and it will come again. But right now, I've done what I needed to do.
You are a son of Barovia? Barovia?
Yeah.
I'm the true heir of Barovia, is that true?
That is the legend.
In life and in death?
Yeah.
And if I asked you to be my sword? You think you took everything from Strahd? I think there's more to take. And if you want revenge, seek your revenge at my side. Be my hand, my protector. Serve Barovia the way that you should serve Barovia.
You start to feel a little tug on your back from that silver strand.
What are my options? Like, presumably I can't just willingly just go back, just will myself to live.
You don't know.
So,
As it stands right now, you will yourself to move around the ethereal plane as a spectral force. That's all you know. You have the stats of a spirit. You can't cross over that you know of or anything like that. You don't know what you're capable of doing. You are feeling the tug on the back.
can I move a bit?
Yeah, sure.
He's gonna move downwards to his body,
I'll move
and
into it.
like is looking closely, like a sort of morbid fascination at what's happened to his physical self,
Yeah.
and like just examining, and wow, Strahd did a real number on me. I don't think you would have liked what I was going to become. You know what I was. I could see in your eyes. Eventually, I I don't know if you would have had a hard decision to make. And maybe you would end up like Strahd, having to make those hard decisions.
Trevas, I think that whatever turned him into the monster he's become, I don't know if that is inside of me too. You're right. And I did see that in your eyes. But I think maybe we can keep each other from becoming that. And if it's something we can try to do, it's your decision. But I think Barovia needs you. Your friends need you. The little one. He's crying. I saw him cry. I know he feigns like he doesn't like you, but I've never seen a metal cry. I swear it felt like he was crying. You don't have to do it for yourself, but you should want to do it for them. I spent a long time wanting to do for others.
The only one that I truly left is dead. And half of me is somebody I hated. There is no place for me here. Trevas is going to turn and follow the tether.
Okay.
Not even let it pull him.
Yep.
He's following it.
He turns and he starts to fly up. Let's go back to the rest of the group while that was happening.
Sterling's got his pack on the ground and he's just going through it, trying to remind himself of anything that he may have that might do something. And he pulls out like a gem, and he pulls out his alchemist fires, and he's like, "There's got to be something. There's got to be something. I've got to do something." And but he comes up empty. He's got, "I've got nothing. Can somebody do something?"
I'm trying. I'm trying. He's not. He's just not responding.
I think I used my only shot at resurrection when I brought back Argenvost. And I'll have to. I don't have anything left in me to help in that way.
Dmitri. Maybe Argenvost himself.
You watch as Argamos goes. He transforms and polymorphs back into himself as he walks over to the group. Let's just use this one again. You know, it's not quite that decrepit, but he's a zombie. And he walks over beside Dmitri, and he looks at all of you. Many sacrifices have been made. My heart breaks for yours in this moment.
Is there nothing, though? So much was spent just to bring you back with us. And surely there's at least a shred of what that healing was for right now in this moment. Are we not able to help him at all?
Please, Argenvost. Please. He's so young.
He kind of walks over. He kneels down and places his hand on his chest. And he closes his eyes and he's muttering. And he says, "All I can do is turn him into something he doesn't want to be."
So Dhalia this whole time has been staring at where Sergei disappeared from. And it's almost like she cocks her head to the side like she's listening to something that isn't there. And then she gets this very sad expression on her face and she looks up to all of you and says, "Sometimes death is better for those who cross over. Sometimes it's the living who want them back so badly, but sometimes you have to let them go." And sometimes the best you can do is to help him cross over.
That is foolishness. You're speaking foolishness. We are not that kind of team. Someone goes down, we help them. Someone gets hurt, we heal them. We fought so hard for every team member. When we get a new team member, we do not give up on them. Come on, guys, Argenvost, you do it.
Yes, you said that there's something you can do that maybe he would not approve of, but at this point, I can't imagine that he would want to not be here still, in whatever form, when we're so close now. I mean, look at the battlefield. We're winning, aren't we?
We have won. Look around you. And as you look around, like the spirits are starting to disappear of the aura of the silver dragon. And there is just a sea of dead undead. You look over at New Berez, and people are starting to cheer. And the battle has ended.
Yes, and you see? I don't see why we couldn't bring him back here in some way to bring this whole battle, this whole war to its conclusion, with us as the victors and Trevas, a retired warrior.
It is beyond my abilities, but we can take him to the Church of All Faiths to see if they can do anything. But haste and time is of the utmost importance. We must meet with the council. You have now returned. Now is the time to strike. We must not tarry in loss. Otherwise we lose ourselves.
Okay. We must do it. Yes.
Yes. Yes, we'll bring him to the church then. Okay, Sterling, are you okay with that?
Yes. Then I'll reach down and very gently lift him up and ready. Let's
You gather him up and you start walking towards New Berez, where the Church of All Faiths stands within its palisades. As you're walking by, there are a couple things that you notice. The first is, as you're walking kind of close to the walls, there starts to be a murmur. You hear Dawnbringers being whispered, and people begin to cheer as you start to walk towards the palisade. And there is like this reception of excitement as people begin to see you. I didn't get back to you, I'm sorry. At this point, you're still in the border of theory. This conversation ends. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm watching you leave, and just tip my head to the side, and I say, in this space, I think sound travels. So I say it as a whisper, but you hear it in your mind's eye, I think. And I just say, coward. Your father ran away too nearly. Barovia deserves better. And I found it, and I float above them. Okay. I'm just watching them. I haven't rejoined them now. I feel
Sure.
I feel disconnected there because I sense we need him. But maybe I need him. So I go back to the morning.
Okay. As you head back, the cheers begin to grow. You see a couple interesting things. As you pass one individual, there is a large bear-like humanoid and two smaller bear-like humanoids that as you approach and as you pass, they turn back into this like large bearded man who like smiles at all of you in like deep wave and puts his hands on his kids and they say, I told you they'd come back. And they like smile in your direction. You also see an individual who's wearing a leather apron, weathered, with like really tightly fitting, like segmented armor. His eyes glowing like this blue glow, and as it like retracts, almost like an Iron Man helmet, back in like an artificer, you see this aged individual with a beard, long kind of gray wispy hair. He's flanked by a small troop of what appears to be large hulking golems that have been stitched together from a variety of body parts. A windmill is imprinted or branded into their chests, and he nods at all of you as you pass. You make your way through the palisade, and as you do, just the ruckus begins to build, and people start to kind of gather to get a look at the Dawnbringers for the first time in the last year. As you all take Trevas to the Church of All Faiths, for the sake of brevity, you leave him there with the healers and the people who are in charge of seeing what they could potentially do for him. And then you're joined by Sir Godfrey within the walls, and with Argynvost. They suggest that the council meet and that you head to the Elder's Seat to have a conversation. Is anybody against that? I did have a motion. Dhalia, you are asked to join. All right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
Love you. Okay. At this point, Dave's going to leave the table. For the second time this series. Third time?
I think it's the third time. That's it. It might be the fourth time.
Oh,
So there was the
oral.
first. Yeah.
Oral, Muskoka,
Muskoka,
and Trevas.
Trevas.
But twice for Muskoka.
Oh,
Twice from Muskoka. True.
Yeah.
Love you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave. Can't get rid of you enough, Dave.
Awesome. Okay.
It's coming back.
All right. You all approach the Elder Seat. The Elder Seat is a large manor, sizable, in New Berez that has been built for the elders of the people of New Berez, the New Beresians, to live in. That's where they conduct their meetings. That's where there's a little bit of a war room for the people of New Berez and the adventurers of New Berez. These folks know it very well. They've been there many times during our weekly sessions. The Elder Seat did exist a year ago. The building existed when you were in New Berez a year ago. As you enter, you walk into a large foyer. There is a suit of armor in the corner. There's a large staircase that leads up. And you are greeted by a ghostly figure who is actually familiar to you. You knew him as the spirit of Ulrich, who was the burgomaster of New Berez, or Berez before, like way back when, that Strahd killed because he brought an end to a woman that Strahd was trying to. She was a descendant of Tatiana's, and it was this whole thing that happened. But now he's become the Chamberlain of the Elder Seat, and being able to kind of serve still in some sort of capacity with him. He greets you and he leads you to a dining room, where, as you enter, there is a number of folks who are gathered. The first is a very familiar face, and that is that of Madame Eva, who sits to the right of the head of the table. Argynvost goes and he sits at the head of the table. Sir Godfrey enters and sits at his right hand. There is an individual 2 seats down. I don't know if you guys met Kioran or not in game.
In game, yeah.
But he is the leader of the Order of Ravensbane, who you have heard through rumor is a monster hunting order, or order of legendary monster hunters. And 2 council members who are the elders of New Berez, and I'd like to now call Shad and John to the session. Welcome, y'all. At this point, actually, John, you can come sit over by me, buddy.
All right.
The seat's warm. Dave had like Mexican yesterday or something, so it's
Hopefully, also
For the same fate.
yeah.
you gotta shoot
Welcome,
that.
buddy.
Yep.
You can head over. Shut over a bit. You're good. You guys shut over there.
Good? Yes, sir.
Oh, watch the stands. There. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Is Shad in? You're gonna have to lean in a little, Shad. Make sure you're in camera mode.
I want to make sure I'm not.
Yeah, okay, we're good. You're good? Yep. Okay. I just want to say, first of all, a massive thank you to Shad and John,
Mm-hmm.
who donated, volunteered. Metric shite ton is the only way that I can kind of describe what they did for us in the last number of years as Smith Guardians of our community. So I want to say a massive thank you to both of you. I love you all very much. John arrived this morning. Shad has been here all weekend. John left a lot of the hard work to Shad and made him work really, really hard in the last few days, prepping for the season. But you guys have been a cornerstone of this community. And so you represent all of the Smith Guardians sitting here today. And it is an honor to have you here with us. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
It really, really means a lot. Each one of them play a elder. They're the lead elders of the people of New Berez and the adventurers, and they have made themselves available to them on a variety of occasions to help with a number of different tasks around New Berez. If you can maybe give descriptions real quick of Ludari, first of all.
So Ludari will have a hood up. He's a drow elf, so you don't see a lot of his features. Even in this environment, he stays in character. So he is wearing studded leather armor, but as you'll see, all the studs are taped so they're muted so that he's as quiet as possible. I'll go further because he will be pulling his hood down. But so at this point, but you don't see anything but two eyes staring.
Okay. And Elder Jardan.
Elder Jordani is a human, and he's met the Dawnbringers before. He visited different campsites that the Vistani have set up throughout the years. So you're familiar with him, but he is garbed as a paladin and is wearing a rapier, so he's more of a Dexedin straight paladin. But he has the Rune of Pursuit from the Triskelion, as Tritheron is his deity.
A paladin with good dexterity?
Indeed.
What?
Is that wow?
What necromancy is this?
Clearly, that's not supposed to happen. Hasn't happened for us before.
Not in a millennium.
Unusual.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the council and to the stream. Argymvos looks across to all of you and he says, I know you have experienced loss today. As he looks to the Dawnbringers. Dhalia, thank you for joining us. It is fortuitous as you have some information I think that would be helpful in this time, some insight, I have been told.
Okay.
A lot has happened over the last few days. I was called and we responded to a threat in the mountains. That was clearly a diversion for the assault on Argynvostholt. What happened in my absence?
We weren't quite awake yet when it started, but once we were awakened as Dawnbringers, we saw battle happening outside, and we joined, and we were able to claim victory. It was all very confusing, but we managed, and it seems as if the battle for today has been won.
Where were you all this time?
It did not feel like time. We were awake, and then we were asleep, and then we were awake again. And we woke up in the midst of battle.
There were some events in the sleep, like a dream, but no, it was real. I regained parts of myself that were lost, but also another consciousness has joined the amalgam, that of the boy's father.
Mm-hmm. Madame Eva kind of gives a crooked smile, understanding what that would mean to you. Godfrey and Argenvost are not as educated kind of in your, well, Argenvost wouldn't necessarily be, but he nods as he recognizes that is probably something important to you. Sergey, where are you at this time?
I think I was following them in, but floating above them. I think I've sort of floated in through the top, and I think I'm at. If they're all sort of meeting in this circle, I'm just floating.
It's a launch, rectangular table. But
Yeah, I'm above, just watching.
Okay. Are you in the border material or are you in the material plane?
Material planet down the floating material.
And then he looks up and he sees you and he nods again, a really, really deep nod. He looks at the rest of the council and he says, in case you haven't realized or recognized, this is Sergey Monzarovich, the brother of the Dark One. His spirit has returned. And as he looks up at you, he says, how? After all this time?
They brought me back.
Your purpose continues to prove itself. More hope in a land where hope has died. You have a part to play, Sergey.
He has already. We were in battle, feeling like we were certainly going to lose. And mid-battle, Sergey, you spoke words of truly the hope, and really the first hope we've heard in quite some time. I do believe your leadership here is very consequential.
I want to apologize to all of you for the pain my brother has caused, the horror he's wrought upon. Our family used to be good and whole. It's been quite a long time since that has been true. I don't know how much help I can really offer. But I feel like Barovia is in good hands.
We need more hands.
He looks up at you, Arkenvost does, and he says, I am but merely a caretaker. I came here centuries ago, built a prison, an amber prison. I watched over it. But this land is not mine. It is yours.
I don't know if it's true. I think it belongs to all of you. But first we must truly reclaim it.
Yes, of course. To that, but may I say this? I know very well what it means to not be who you used to be. And as you look at him, he has his skin pulled super tight. Looks a lot like Dmitri. Godfrey too. They're all emaciated, undead looking creatures. I am not who I once was on the outside. But nonetheless, shall we begin? As he says that, Godfrey pulls out a map.
We're gonna do this.
And Argenvost pulls out a long stick as he begins to. Actually, no, he doesn't. Sorry. Godfrey pulls out a long stick and takes over in this moment. He says, this is the current state of the war and the battle. That last assault on Argenvost, which is here, occurred, I believe, as Sableheart's final
attempt, desperation to quell our forces. But the war is not done yet. He's had generals under his command over the last year, some of them of which were coming into being previously before you left us. We have gathered and gained a number of regions. A region that formerly belonged to, it's all upside down, so I'm having a hard time reading it. To the surgeon, which the Keepers of the Feather helped us to gain ground on. And then the former one that belonged to Golvin and Leon. Our groups over the last year have successfully defeated the tribe of Kavan, led by Kavan himself. The armies of Sableheart, which you managed to destroy today, the Sableheart still live.
Yes.
He became mist.
Well, we will have your group deal with that. As he looks at Dhalia.
Oh, yes. We'll deal with him.
One final region that currently is held and guarded by the Flesh Ring, which we will get into in a moment. As you can see, we have made a lot of progress over the last year, even in your absence. You have brought hope where we were able to bring stability. We have a number of known allies, the Order of Ravensbane, and he looks at Kjorn and nods, and Kjorn kind of looks and kind of like haphazardly, like just kind of nods his head to the side. The Bjornsons, who you saw on the way in, they are a family of werebears who have shared their gift with others and helped us in this time. The Keepers of the Feather, you have met previously, of course, for an order of were-ravens, who are our eyes in the sky. Rudolf van Richten, who has spent his time, of course, keeping and taking care of you, as Trevas also did. And at this moment, Ludari, you realize Trevas is not in the room.
He'll look around and ask, "Where is Trevas?"
And Dmitri hears that and looks up and just looks straight down and shakes his head.
He's in the church right now. His body's in the church. We are hoping that maybe something can be done. We came as quickly as we could.
So Ludari will actually pull his hat off, or his cape off, and Giordani will see something he's never seen, which is a single tear rolling down his eyes. Maybe he'll look up and apologize for not better preparing him for this world.
No one can be prepared. We have young ones and old ones, and those who come brave, and those who come scared, and everyone dies at this man's hands.
And it must stop. Now.
We have lost so many, but it is our task to avenge them and ensure that no more are lost to this monster.
Council, what does victory look like for Barovia? What does hope look like for Barovia? Do we unify forces? Do we take him down at once? How does victory look?
Godfrey reaches over and puts a hand on your shoulder. He says, "We'll get to that, Falpher. We have many allies, as I mentioned. We still have the Abbot in Cali, the Abbey of St. Markovia. We still have the Mad Mage, even though we do not know where he is. And he, like, corrects himself. He says, more Keating. And finally, as I mentioned, the Flesh Raid, who Dhalia knows a little bit more about. Dhalia, can you please share with the group who the Flesh Raid is and how he came to be an ally?
There's a house in Barovia. Most people call it the Murder House. But before that, it was the Durst Estate. There were 2 children born to the Dursts who died starving and needed to be shown to their beds. And so we did that and sang them to sleep. And now they know as much peace as they can have, as long as Barovia is the way that it is now. But there was a 3rd child, one that was missing, one that belonged to Gustav, but not to his wife. And so she was bitter and angry, and she took Walter, and she sold him to be made into a pie. He grew up in a cage until he escaped. And we found him. I promised we would find him. I promised his mother we would find him. And we did. In the windmill. With his new family. My cousins. The ones that he called back and put together. But she hunts him still. Not Lady Durst. The other one. And at that point, her book flaps open, seemingly of its own accord, and the pages flip back and forth until it gets to a page with a sketch of Morgantha in blood and her name scrawled across it.
You feel a hand on your shoulder behind.
Morgantha came for him, and we told her no. And so he's safe for now, as safe as anyone can be in Barovia. And he won't take orders. He won't be caged or told what to do. But he fights out of love for those who have stood by him and helped him in his time of need. But there have been so very, very few of them. And one day, the one who hunts him will be gone, and I'll cross her name out of the book, just like all the others.
Let me do that. I can do that.
They call him the Flesh Shrive, but I know him as Walter. He likes cookies.
In that moment, you put it 2 and 2 together with that gentleman you saw on the way in, with the golems, with the windmill branded in their chest. That was baby Walter, who once that crib that you saw in Death House belonged to. And so little Walter lives. Now big Walter. Godfrey looks around the table, he looks at Jardani, he looks at Ludar, and he says, I know that New Berez has taken damage in this assault. Is there a plan? I know it has a short time. Is there a plan to revive it how long until we get back to full capacity?
Sir Godfrey, as you know, we had worked on the defenses and had worked to provide some fortifications and redoubts. But, of course, during the battle, damage has occurred and we'll need time. What do you think?
How much time can you give us?
I do not think that they will attack any time soon. Again, but we have to be ready. So
Our master builder has done surveys with us. I'm sure he would have a good idea of what to prioritize in this time.
I need you to take note of the adventurers that have survived and that are here. You have done well to protect this place clearly.
It was a group effort.
Fair.
We have an amazing team.
Fair. Argamo speaks up and he says, the question is what is next? Where do we go from here? I think time is of the essence. We need to strike at the heart of the evil in this land. He shoots a glance at Sergei for a moment. I think we take the fight to Ravenloft.
We will need every advantage.
Of course.
We have the Original, and we have the Sun Sword, and we have his brother. We have the forces of Barovia, and all that you have done. But I'm not certain that we know all that we need to know about how to truly end this evil. I feel inside that in a place like this where death is not so permanent, how do we make sure Strahd stays dead?
He speaks up and he says, from what I understand, the dark powers of this land are what made Strahd. They made a deal with him that twisted him, that led him to end his brother temporarily. My apologies, Sergei. And these dark powers still exist, but I do not know what effect they have. Obviously, the most clear target is Strahd himself. And yes, I will speak his name, as I am no longer afraid of him. After what I saw today, I believe this is doable. Dhalia has some knowledge of the otherworldly forces and the dark powers. What do you know of the priests of Arcebus and the process there?
So Dahlia will kind of pace back and forth for a minute, and then she'll take that papoose off, and she'll set it down gently on the table. And you can see that there's a doll inside, a very creepy looking doll. And when she sets it down, it says, "Mama, don't leave me. I'm scared." And then
The doll says this.
The doll says that. And then she turns to face you and collapses back into the chair, kind of like a rag doll, losing all of her structure. Yeah. And she's staring up at where Sergei is underneath the table, and she kind of smiles. And then her whole body convulses. Her eyes roll back. And when she stands back up, almost without bending, her whole demeanor has changed. She's standing in a very regal fashion. Her voice changes slightly. Everything about her is different. And her eyes are white, and she says, to understand what has happened to Strahd and how to defeat him, you have to understand how this came to be. He, petulant, greedy child that he is, wanted things that were never his to have. And in order to take them, he made bargains with dark powers, things far darker than he and far older. He had helped to become what he was. There is a greater evil that came before. And then she kind of shudders again, and she says in almost a sing-song voice, "The wizard known as Ossibus grew jealous of the divine. He spent his life searching lore until a secret he did find, a way to trade the lives and souls of victims of all kinds. To gain immortal power he would need to finally rise. He gathered some disciples who were cruel but never wise. They did his bidding, hoping his secrets would he confide. For the acolytes of Ossibus, they did not want to die. The followers of Ossibus hoped in tombs they would not lie. On the eve of his ascension, with the world all cloaked in gloom, the priests of Ossibus began to fear their souls he would consume. So the cult of Ossibus betrayed their deathless master, and now the priests of Ossibus are cursed forever after. The immortality they sought to claim was taken from their grasp by a word of power which echoed through the darkness in a rasp. Though I am betrayed, the darkest of all powers shall I become. I will show death how to find all you faithless lickspittles and scum. But those who betrayed Ossibus, they never would surrender. They looked for a new means to find a kind of deathless splendor. So the priests of Ossibus a new lord's ring they would kiss, in the hopes that once Strahd conquered all, he'd grant their greatest wish. But Ossibus, the deathless one, trapped their new lord in the mists. So until Strahd reaches lands beyond, the traitors' names adorned death's list. And then she kind of shudders again. They wear white, little priests and priestesses, as if they were pure, when all they want is immortality. They gave their loyalty to their master, and when they betrayed him, he cursed them, and they taught Strahd how to become what he is by betraying his own kin, to make pacts with the dark powers in the Amber Temple. And because of his family's connection to this place, he drew his power from the land itself, and that is what Ossibus in turn used to imprison him. And so here, in his family's ancestral lands, he is powerful, but not immortal. And Ossibus would like nothing more than to see him laid low or destroyed. But the followers of Ossibus want him to escape the mists so that they can attain their own immortality. And then she looks up at Strahd. I was never his. I would never be his. I would rather be with you in death than with him in life or immortality. And she reaches up, and then she begins to shudder again, and her whole body goes limp, and she collapses back into the chair. And then Dhalia kind of looks up, and her head kind of rolls around, almost like her neck's broken. And she kind of looks up with this vacant smile on her face and says, "Did I say something? I'm sorry. I lose track of things sometimes. It happens."
What? So, so much. Ossibus, the priests of Ossibus. Do we take power from Strahd by giving him power to become immortal? What do we do, Morgantha? And as I say her name,
You feel that
yeah, you know what I do? I actually shrug my shoulder out from the grasp. Try to shrug my shoulder out from the grasp. We must move quickly. There's terror upon us still. Perhaps Morgantha next.
as he shrugs, Sergey, in that moment you notice a kind of a dark presence behind Falpher. That like and almost like the shadow of a hand that like recedes and goes out into the shadow and disappears in the background with your ethereal sight.
I'm background. I don't know. I see where I'm like.
Yeah. Everything goes gray.
Not see anything. I'd just take a walk around. My friend, do I notice anything different?
Physically looks the same. Maybe a bit more tense.
I go to reach out and touch him from this plane just to see if he can sense it.
Goes through.
I come back, stand next to him. What did you mean when you said that?
I'm sorry, when I
Did you
said,
all hear him? Did you all hear what he said?
She said.
She saw it. Did
saw
you all hear what she said?
Yes. Yes. Said quite a bit, really.
I said, I'm sorry.
I will never be yours. I will never be his. So he said. What do you mean by that?
Have you a memory of this?
I lose track of things sometimes, and sometimes it's not really me. Sometimes it's I'm a handmaiden. I'm not the bride, but sometimes I'm the bride.
Why are you wearing that dress?
Because she wanted me to find it. I died, and she called me. She called me to come back, and she said that if I would help her, then I could come back.
Who? If you could help who?
The bride.
What bride?
So Dhalia's left hand falls off, and it crawls across the floor and kind of jumps up onto a bookshelf where it fingers out a book and then kind of falls to the floor, and she nudges it over back to her. And then Dhalia will reach over and pick the book up and set it on the table, put her hand back on, and she opens the book, and it opens to a page of a portrait of Tatiana and Sergei. She told me there were so many women who've been hurt, so many who've been tortured and killed and murdered, and they needed someone to speak for them. They needed someone to take revenge for the wrongs done to them. That's why I have this book. It helps me remember who's still on the list.
Are you wearing her wedding dress?
She wanted me to find it. She led me to the face of the cliff, and it was like I'd been there before. And And as she starts speaking, the torches kind of flare up and the shadows on the wall behind her change. And it looks like a castle on top of a great cliff. I just remember falling. And at that moment, from the shadows, you see a woman in a dress, a wedding dress, leap off of a cliff and plummet. And then the shadows sort of change, so it looks like almost a first-person perspective of her plummeting through the mists as the ground gets closer and closer and closer, and then the shadows disappear and the torches go back to where they were before. And I'm sorry that you asked.
He needs to die.
That is our task. Specifically your task.
Where's my body?
This is where we got the sword.
It is. It is venerated in his castle.
I'm through the walls. Okay. As you leave, Sergei, Argenvost watches as you kind of like turning through the wall and says, "That was unexpected." Well, we need to discuss then what it's going to take to infiltrate the castle, as I'm assuming that is where he is. If in fact that is where he is. When we take the fight to him. Sir Godfrey speaks up. He says, "Yes, I believe we can utilize the other 3 groups, yours, the Chaos Crew, the others." Depends on what the plan is. You've been there before.
I think siege, if possible, could benefit, but its height. It is in a very defensible position.
Agreed.
Perhaps Argenvost could help from the top as we work our way through.
We can absolutely have other groups draw attention from wherever you plan to infiltrate. Cause a ruckus, as it would when the Chaos Crew does a very good job of that.
And it's an apt name.
My friends are very loud.
From what I understand of what I've been briefed on of the castle defenses and some of the things that perhaps we need to keep in mind, I think that one group perhaps should assault to draw a full frontal assault to draw gargoyles, as we know they guard the parapets. Another one perhaps to draw out Strahd's minions. He has a number of vampires, full power vampires, under his command. Perhaps that full frontal assault would draw them out. Perhaps even try and infiltrate the castle to draw them out into the bowels of it. Rahadin has fallen. He looks at the council, lets you know his chamberlain is no more. That is one less obstacle. The other group shall infiltrate and attempt to destroy the Heart of Sorrows. It sustains him, gives him extra longevity, a large heart in one of the staircases, I am told. Legend tells, and we'll have one of the groups do that. But you will have to tell me where you think the most direct path is. At this point, Sergei, what are you doing?
I'm right outside this meeting hall in New Barez. I'm floating above this.
Out of the elder seat, kind of above, yeah.
Sort of above it,
Yeah,
outside.
and as you look in the
itself.
distance, you see on the pillar stone of Ravenloft, Castle Ravenloft standing amongst the mist. in the distance.
I vamp out into the ethereal plane, and I'm searching this emptiness, this nothingness, for any bit of Tatiana, and I said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? No. We need a monster. He was right. We need a monster. I'll be a monster. I can be a monster. And I back into the material plane.
This.
And I'm different. I'm not standing as I'm a ghost, so I'm floating there, but my spine is straighter. And if you were staring at me, you would see flashes of Strahd. There's something in my eyes that's different now. And I feel a little bit more ready to face my brother.
Okay.
And then I'll float back in, and I'll make sure I stand right beside my friend. Float right beside my friend. Okay. But
Argos looks at you and says, "Welcome back."
What is the plan?
That is what we are attempting to get to. Godfrey says, "We need to decide on an entry point." And then he pulls up the.
Can I history check to see if I know any way into my castle?
Yes. Wisdom save to see if you can reflect.
Sure. Everybody, I'm going to put this dice.
Do you want to switch it so that it looks at the...
Everybody touch this dice real quick. Everybody just touch it. We're going to put...
I'm not going to touch it.
Touch it. Touch it. Everybody touch it.
So let me do the last touch.
Everybody touch it.
Didn't touch it.
Yes, come back, friend. Touch this.
Just a random.
Come here. Touch it.
Random voice.
Just a
Please.
You rolled a natural one at Death State.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
That's a bad idea. Because they touched it last. You rolled a natural one on Death State.
Actually died rolling.
I know.
In fact, I rolled the one twice.
Yes, you did in a row.
His vengeance has infected me.
You know that.
So Ludari has been sitting there trying to think as well. When he was in the Amber Temple with you guys, he touched the model of the castle, I believe. And he now has advantage on any history checks made for the castle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 8 + 2 + 10. Perhaps my
8 + 2 + 10.
8 + a 2 is a 10.
Oh, 10. Having a hard time recalling. Like, you remember glimpses of it, but it's like, was that hallway there? Was that room there? Like, your 400-year-old mind is competing with your, 40-year-old memory, because you were in the, you know what I mean? So you're like, and you're 24 years old, so it's like, and you were there briefly. You went there. You didn't live there.
No.
You visited him. You're having a hard time remembering. Ludari, what do you remember specifically?
Oh, wow, 11.
Okay, yeah. Having a hard time even putting that together.
Trevas is
Trevas,
still in my head.
Absolutely distracted. But you all have been there.
Yeah. I have perfect recollection of everything that was there.
You do not at all.
Okay.
Do you remember how you got in?
No. Yes, the front bridge.
No.
No.
How'd you guys get in?
Was it
The drawbridge.
Yeah, the
Right
drawbridge.
across the drawbridge and into the back.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah, and then down the stairs.
Yep, and down
Okay.
the stairs.
I believe that our last entry point is probably not a good idea. We've been better defended now. Perhaps we come from the top.
Yes, with the advantage of Argenvost. Perhaps he can drop us in above the gargoyles or somewhere.
You have a map.
I do have a griffin, but I don't think he would carry the party.
In my day, we used explosives. Do we have anything that goes boom?
On us?
I have some alchemist's fire, but perhaps it could be made in large quantities.
Perhaps we make an entrance. I never really liked this gas.
We were speaking of a diversion.
This castle is cursed. Remember it. It attacks us from every angle. It seemed the walls and the floors wanted us dead.
This castle has become much worse than when I lived.
Well, we are good at burning things down.
Oh, fire, perhaps.
How many of you would be going in this way?
Well, we probably should not split up. So all of us? Whichever direction we go in, I believe we should go in together.
I whisper to you, maybe you don't even, I don't know if you think I'm talking to you, but I certainly do from here. Waiting for you to join us.
So, 3 of you and Serga.
Oh yes, Trevas is not here.
That's not bad sound. We are not as powerful as we once were. But we'll make it work.
We have a dragon.
I may need to be elsewhere, but if I were with you, at least briefly when the assault started, I think I can call in enough spirits to help 3 of you reach the roof.
There's 3 on the roof. You don't need. Do you? I turn over to my ghostly friend and go, we don't need to carry you in or anything, a special jar or a lamp or anything. You'll be there with us.
I'll just put my hand through him.
Take that as a shut up.
Kjoran, for the first time, speaks up, and he is a half-elf you can see who has seen some shit. You can tell he's got a couple scars on his face from battle. He has a tattoo of it looks like a rank under his eye. And he wears a black cloak with feathers kind of adorning the mantle. And he says, I mean, far be it from me to question any tactic, but from the roof, that means you have to contend with the entirety of the castle before you get to potentially where you want to be.
We don't know where he is in the castle.
Absolutely. But perhaps that is the first question we should answer.
I still have trouble imagining how effective we will be on his own turf. He knows all the secrets. He can use them against us. Lead us into traps. Can we not lead him out?
Yes. He always has an object of affection. Tatiana moves through Irina, who moves to the next or whatever. No, perhaps we find his loved one.
He loves no one.
Archibald looks at Sergei and he says, I said earlier that both of us know very well what it means to not be who we were before. When you said the body of Sergei is in the castle.
Yes.
You saw it. Where?
Well, as memory serves. Because I don't remember. Can I roll some dice then?
No, I can just tell you.
Okay.
He was in his crypt in the catacombs.
Okay. That makes
and
sense.
he looked like he had not died. He looked like he was just sleeping. Completely preserved for 400 years in his coffin, and he wore gleaming plate armor.
Yes, in the crypt. And he looked pristine. Didn't even look dead. as though he was just sleeping.
Perhaps you say your brother doesn't love anything, but it sounds like he loved you enough to maintain your body.
I can draw him if we can bring my this to my body.
I know this is gonna sound crazy. So, like everything I say, perhaps we don't even start an attack. Perhaps we go there by night. You sneak in, take hold of your body, and come out to greet us.
That is the smarter option.
No one dies. I feel as though I cannot lose anyone else here.
That's a risk. Any one of us could die. We know that going in, this may be a mission of ill fate, but we'll give it our best shot. I think we may be best to stay together. I, for one, would like to bring the fight to him.
Yes.
His ego's always been his downfall. He won't expect us there.
So, we have some to distract the gargoyles. Maybe the were-ravens can help us from the sky. If we make our way to the crypts, as we did before, yes, the defenses may be stronger than they were, but it was a relatively direct route. We know better now. We can anticipate his traps and his tricks.
You said this land gives my brother more power because of our family. Who do the gargoyles answer to? Who does the castle answer to?
Right now, it answers to the master of the castle because he's the eldest and has what passes for life. But if you were made whole again, perhaps you might be able to wrest control.
Do any of you have an object taken from the castle or a particular place that you might want to return to?
Well, the crypt, for one.
Where did you obtain the sword?
His crypt.
I may have a solution to the crypt.
I like this already.
I have the means to teleport, but it must be a location known to me or an object from a location.
We can cut the head off, but the whole we have to go.
Jordan will study the hilt. How long ago was this taken from the crypt?
Over a year.
Over a year. That may pose a problem. I believe my limits are only 6 months. Half a year.
Then we were there half a year ago.
Sir Godfrey says, does the body of Rahadin not still lie in the field?
Being eaten by the birds. Yeah.
Yes.
He's been pledged to our family for centuries.
He would have been in the castle many times, and the things on his body.
Yes. Let's go get the body.
We must. Will we take our leave?
Rest for a moment.
Okay, fine.
Do we not? A distraction of sorts, even still.
For the body.
For his body.
Do you not think Strahd will know when you enter the confines of his domain?
He is the lad.
But if we do this in time, and our theory is correct, the moment I am resurrected, the land falls to me. The gargoyles will answer to me.
Bjorn says, that is an assumption
It is.
that we are making. That is a great one. You do not want the full might of that castle descending upon you. I will have my order be part of the force that will distract. We do the same with the other groups. We get the Bjornsons. And it is a full assault on Castle Ravenloft with the attempt to distract any forces possible from descending upon you in those catacombs. And then, when he arrives, it is just you and him and anything else that's under there.
Yes. What we could do is trigger the beginning of the assault by first determining whether or not this scheme of ours can get some information about the castle.
So Navarro is going to look at Corn and go, "You can do that."
Do what?
I thought one of your agreements to be here and to leave was not to do anything against this land.
He smiles, says, all bets are off.
I know the New Beresians will join in the destruction party and put a full assault upon the castle.
Will aid us being able to maybe sneak in.
Yes.
Godfrey says, how many can you teleport?
Up to 8.
More than enough. More than enough. Very well, that is the plan. How long do you need to gather the forces? How long do you need to gather your group?
We can be ready shortly, I'm sure. Dara is probably already itching to find him.
I suggest a day the assault in the morning, perhaps on the morrow. Spend the rest of the day preparing, Godfrey says, resting, for in the morning we assault Ravenloft.
Wait, this god, that, or demon, whatever it was that my brother offended so. Are there no means to contact them?
Madame Eva speaks up. She says, for the first time, she's just been listening very patiently this one time. She says,
This also is one of the dark powers that reside in the Upper Temple, is my understanding.
What was his name?
and she looks over at Argenvost, and Argenvost says, Ossibus, we have not been yet to reclaim the Upper Temple.
And it was Ossibus who trapped us in this mess.
There was a story told of when you went to the Upper Temple. My understanding is one of the sarcophagi were shattered. One of the dark powers released. First we deal with Strahd.
Indeed. Is there no way to poke a hole through?
Not in 400 years.
You wouldn't want to while Strahd still lives. We can't risk letting him through the mists.
Is this the only source of the sun power?
There's very little sun here. You do sunlight, yes.
Yes, it's many uses, I think. With sunlight, you need. This will give you a lot.
We need a way to filter that light through a source that will create more of it. Like you look inside of a diamond and you see 1,000 angles. We need to press that light through a diamond somehow. We don't have much time. I'm thinking of ideas to give us a heads up. I got
We do have a large gem. Perhaps we can.
How do you function? What's your do you have a core?
Well,
A power source is what I'm asking.
I have life of some sort, but it is a mystery to me exactly how it works.
Do you have orifices? Any orifices?
No, I don't have artificers.
Among
We-
course,
we-
among
sure.
the
I
residents.
I
of
thought you
course.
meant among our crew, and I was like, I don't believe I've ever been one, but if you need one.
No,
We do not
we
believe
know
we
an
have
orifice.
time.
We do. Perhaps the fates have given you everything you need.
Indeed, they have.
She smiles this cracked and really smile.
It is decided. We attack in the morning.
Very well. Go, prepare yourselves. You all have your tasks. Godfrey says I will notify those that will aid in the assault. At dawn. At dawn.
The Dawnbringers will bring the dawn.
I knew there was a reason we shouldn't have picked that name.
It was given.
Yeah, right.
Very well. Then go. Take your leave. Perhaps tomorrow we will feel the warmth of the sun on our faces.
May it be.
May it be.
Dhalia goes to pick up the doll in the papoose and pauses for a moment and then turns towards Sergei. And she whispers something in Infernal under her breath. And she starts to flicker in and out as she crosses between this world and the ethereal. And she steps up to him. And when she's in the ethereal, she looks like Tatiana. And when she's in the material, she looks like Dhalia. And she just reaches out and waits until they're both in the same space and her hand touches his cheek. And she looks him in the eye and she says, "Do what you have to do, but don't lose who you are. You can be strong without being a monster. You are not your brother, and that is why I love you." And she leans in, and just before she can kiss him, she phases back into the material. And she passes through him, and she kind of shudders. And for a brief moment, Dahlia's heart begins to beat again before it stops and slows. And then she turns back and picks up the papoose and puts it on. And the doll inside says, "Mama, I miss you. Find faith soon." I should rest. It was very nice to meet all of you, and I'm very sorry about your friend, but I did mean what I said. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give them is to remember them fondly and let them go.
Let them go. If I see you again, you will not be wearing my wife's dress.
I'll wear it as long as she needs me to. I made a pact with her. I won't break it.
Perhaps you should work on letting go. Good night,
Oh. All right. For the sake of brevity, thank you, council members.
Yes.
Darwin and Jardani.
Yes.
That is the Radcon, John and Chad.
Yes.
You guys can go ahead and exit.
Well done.
Dhalia, you can stay. You all are in New Orleans. As you kind of head back into the greater area, people see you. They don't really bother you. They have a respect for you. All of them are adventurers. They're all warriors. And you all head to the Wolfsbane campfire, where there's a large mess tent and there's a large campfire, and the adventurers are there, and there's a lot of celebration and cheer, and paying respects to those adventurers that potentially had fallen during that time.
You need the body.
They got it.
Okay.
Yeah. They went and retrieved Strahd body. Okay. You all sit around the fire and you reflect on the day. Before, we'll just kind of speed through next episode, the beginning of next episode, what you do to kind of prepare to go to the castle.
Okay.
And the heaviness of Trevas sits. And even though everyone around you is sort of celebrating and the victory is theirs, and they're relishing that moment, it's like in a movie where they pause a scene, you guys are kind of sitting like this, and everything's kind of moving in slow motion and like blurry behind you, quickly behind you, and you guys are kind of sitting. And Sterling reminds you of the amount of loss that you felt over your time here in Barovia. You lost Muskoka, you lost the boy, you found the boy, you mourned your father, you gained your father. You lost Trevas.
Kelly is gone.
Kelly is, doing her thing. I mean, the lost. She needed that. But in this moment, you feel that article that you retrieved. You kept a scarf of Muskoka's. Where did you tie that? Did you wear it around your neck or on your arm? Where do you have it now? Doesn't matter where you had it.
Yeah,
Where would you have it now?
I think now I would have it on my arm.
Okay, so it's kind of like tied around.
Yeah.
As you're all sitting there and you're reflecting on that, and how does Sterling feel in that moment when he's kind of thinking about all of that?
Well, he's a mix of emotions. The amalgam is divided right now in their internal reflections, and shock is very vocal while the others are quiet. I think this is a mistake. You shouldn't kill Strahd. You should find a way to control him. He's weak. He's a child. You can manipulate his mind. No. That is not the way we will do it. We must stop him and free this land from the darkness once and for all. We stop him, and then we go after the dark forces. You're all weak.
Are you saying this out loud, or is this kind of internal dialogue that is happening?
It is coming out of his mouth, but
Okay.
it's not like loud.
Yeah, you're
like if you're sitting next to him.
Yeah, you hear him. You guys are hearing this kind of dialogue happening. This is the first time you've heard him do this. You've heard this before. You know what's going on.
Yeah, and usually he'll do it in
Yeah.
private. But
Yeah.
the party members.
Sure.
It seems to me that none of you have the gall to be able to wield power when it offers itself to you. And Sterling's father has been very quiet. He's new to the amalgam, but he speaks and he says, true mission would be to free souls rather than to capture them. And all of us know what it means to be contained. And with that, the amalgam gets quiet.
As he says that, that scarf around your arm, the wind begins to pick up as you feel kind of a storm approaching. And it like gets loose and flies off into the air and flitters and flutters until it reaches the distance. And in the distance, you sense a presence. A familiar presence. And that is what we're going to have a session for this evening.
And the presence is.
I like presents. I just got
I love presents.
You'll get the presents next episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw tonight, like and subscribe and comment and all that wonderful stuff. Thank you, Chad, for joining us with us. One more episode. Dahlia is the creepiest character ever. Chad, you're amazing.
Fantastic character.
Yeah, fantastic. Really good. She is a joy to play with every week.
Watching her head.
And a terror
Yeah.
to play with.
Get this man a neck brace.
Like a stick.
And a masseuse.
Awesome. All right, cool. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.